Oh my, such absolute wonders, what grand and glorious verticality! Truly it is a beauty to behold. Such depths, such vertices, such splendour! And what's this? There's more verticality. Oh, sweet nine divines, layers upon layers of verticality, vertices upon vertices. Never before have I seen a scene of such absolutely splendorous beauty. And still there's yet more verticality. Truly, I am at a loss for words. So much utterly magnificent verticality. It brings a tear to my eye to behold such greatness. This is perfection. The community has finally achieved a mod of perfect verticality. Morrowind modding may never surpass such a vista of vertices ever again. We may as well just pack it up. Morrowind modding is done. Perfection has been achieved. Nerevar wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer. But of course, this sweet, exquisite, magnificent, resplendent, gloriously grand, awe-inspiring, all-encompassing, tantalizingly, succulently delicious, intoxicating verticality is but one part of today's mod day. For today, we're showcasing Secrets of the Crystal City by the Ancestral Ashkhans, composed of Melchior Dog, Judaeus Centeo, Peter/Halovarium, and Sealoff. The first of the 2022 Madness Competition mods that we'll be showcasing, Secrets of the Crystal City, is also the largest, at least in terms of its sheer massive size, if not necessarily in terms of quests or gameplay features. Completely overhauling the vanilla dungeon of Massama Cave, Secrets of the Crystal City just expands this once minor dungeon in the southern Gracelands with a truly enormous buried Velothi city, inhabiting massive glass-filled caverns just deep below the surface of Ardenfell, with yet more mysterious ruins buried even deeper in the depths of these cavernous chambers. The original inhabitants of this once great city have long been lost to time, but whatever their fate, the city is now inhabited by escaped slaves, and watched over by the Twin Lamps. But these escaped slaves of Argonians and Khajiit are far from united, for some want to make Massama their permanent home, while others want to take the wealth from the riches found all around and make for their original homelands. This conflict has brewed up some troubling sightings. Reports of ghosts plague the new residents of this ancient city, and tensions are high. Will you choose to help calming the conflict and unlocking the secrets of Massama, giving aid to the Twin Lamps and their mission? Or will you just slaughter them all in service of Great House Tavani, putting down this slave rebellion before it has a chance to grow? The choice is, of course, yours, and there's about 6 quests for you to do here, and a fair bit of unique dialogue that just delves into the history of Massama and the people and factions who live here. But of course, the real eye-catching highlight here is the caverns and the city of Massama itself, for these are just some of the biggest cavernous environments that I have ever seen in Morrowind. These interior cells are just simply gigantic, easily fitting an entire city within them. And it is positively a gorgeous environment to explore. Filled with grand vistas that one could easily get lost in, just from their sheer beauty, with numerous side passages, ledges, hidden paths, perilous falls, and lost treasures for you to discover. Each of these cavernous environments almost act as their own little zone, full of things for you to see and do, and there's not just one interior like this, but several, giving you hours and hours of gorgeous verticality-inducing exploration. And it should go without saying, but you will obviously want to bring a few potions of levitation with you, because these environments are just truly massive. There are things to find everywhere, and you will just want to be able to fly around and zip about to just, see some of this amazing beauty up close. And then, of course, there's the city itself. Apparently inspired by the city of Khazad-dûm from Rings of Power, the city of Massama is a huge underground Velothi city, kept lit by giant mirrors that capture and direct the light of the sun, to highlight various parts of Massama. The city is filled with shops, taverns, homes, and various places of interest, all inhabited by the escaped Argonians and Khajiits that now live here. The scale of this mod is truly just unbelievable. I mean, even more so when you consider that it was built in only 1 month. 1 month! But when you have 3 interior designers and level designers, I suppose you can afford to go just a bit big on scale. Sadly, the questing side of things doesn't really quite match the stunning scope of the rest of the mod, as the Ancestral Ashkhans lost their quest writer on day 1 of the competition. It does feel like the city could use a few more side quests, but still, I'm not going to complain with what we got, because what we got is just an utterly divine verticality-inducing experience. And speaking of verticality, many of these massive interiors were done by the dungeon master himself, Sealoff. Reportedly, he built 5 or 6 of the dungeon and city environment cells, with over 8,000 references. A truly monumental feat to accomplish in a single month. And, oh my goodness gracious, this verticality is simply breathtaking. I mean, just watch this. I can jump from the top of the cavern in Massama City and fall all the way down in the same interior cell to ancient Dwemer ruins just far below. I have never seen a dungeon environment with so much beautiful verticality. Oh yes, Dungeon Daddy, give me your sweet, sweet verticality. I want it all in my game. Oh yes. But, speaking of Dwemer ruins, there's a ton of those too, just buried deep beneath Massama, inspired by the likes of Blackreach from Skyrim. So far down below the ground that the light of natural day never reaches, and instead a constellation of stars light the way from the glowing rocks and fungi of these deep and dark depths. An utterly atmospheric delight to travel and fight through, these Dwemer ruins will provide the majority of the dungeon-delving content in Secrets of the Crystal City. And like everything else in this big, beautiful mod, they contain amazing visuals and superb verticality of such exquisite splendor that you'll spend, almost certainly a huge amount of time just stumbling through these depths in a haze of awe at such wonders that lurk in the dark. But of course, beauty isn't the only thing that you'll find down here, and you will just need to be a bit careful. For there's more to fear than just the restless Dwemer Centurions, for there's also environmental hazards, with proximity mines that'll go off and explode if you get too close. And of course, these ruins aren't the only dungeon delving content to be found here. There's also various Velothi ruins and hidden side caverns for you to discover. And Secrets of the Crystal City is a dungeon delving adventure where it pays to just keep an eye out, with lots of unique loot just placed, just hidden off the beaten path. Honestly, just a lot of this loot placement just kind of reminds me a bit of the Risen role-playing games, of how you'd need to solve a puzzle or defeat a particularly difficult enemy to, get access to some rare piece of loot. To say the least, Secrets of the Crystal City is just an absolutely gorgeous and massive mod, an incredible feat for being made in only 1 month's time. And honestly, a mod I would, without hesitation, just absolutely recommend adding to your game. It is simply just one of the most eye-catching and eye-candy dungeon and city mods that I have ever seen from Morrowind. And oh my goodness, all that verticality is simply pleasure itself. Though one would hope for just maybe, a few future updates with a bit more questing content, just to help flesh out the people and characters here. But there's already just a huge amount of stuff in this mod, including apparently over 200 new assets just built for Secrets of the Crystal City. This is a gigantic mod, and for all we've shown off here, there's a lot more for you to see for yourself. But anyway, that's just our mod today. So as always, I've been your host, Dark Elf Guy. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, happy modding, and I'll see you all next time.